It's just the craziest feeling in the whole entire world that
It's
people like,
crazy to think that like you can impact someone's life enough where they feel like strong enough to share a piece of themselves that like they clearly have been hiding away. That
exactly.
like watching a video of something that you went through makes them feel like, oh yeah, I'm strong and empowered enough that I can do this, and whatever the outcome, like I'm still gonna be okay.
Yeah, it's like,
Is like,
I know. Like it's so like it just blows my mind still to this day that I'm like I have people like DMing me and being like, "Oh my God, like you're great. Like thank you for making my days better." I'm like, "What? Like
yeah.
what do
You're
you
just like I'm like just like me and you are the same. Like we're the same.
mean?"
And I'm figuring it out and you're figuring it out.
I know half the time I'm like I want to respond and be like, "I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm going
Don't take advice from me.
to."
Promise me you won't take advice from me.
So how long have you been like doing music? Like how did you get into it?
So technically I started writing songs when I was 13. I was like I picked up a guitar and started kind of like doing my thing at that age. Um, but honestly, I live in a small town, so I really didn't think I could do anything with it other than just like cool, like I play guitar, that's cool.
Hmm.
And when I was 19, so I basically went to college for a year. And before I went to college, I had a boyfriend of like 2 years. That was a shit show. And he like basically cheated on me with my entire high school for 2 years, and I had no idea. It was really tight.
Oh my God.
Men, you know what I mean? And so that was a fun time. And so like after that though, I was like really happy that that happened because I had this year of college where I was like figuring out my sexuality and like properly addressing it to myself for the first time. And I was like, okay, like girls are tight. LOL, I'm bisexual. This is fun. And like realizing that like maybe I didn't want to go to school and like do the whole like school thing.
Hmm.
And so I dropped out of college and I started playing shows on the East Coast. My mom was driving me everywhere. I had like a 9 to 5 at a grocery store, and I was just kind of like busting ass where I would like go work and then for like 5 days a week. And then on the weekend, I would drive to Connecticut, Long Island, Rhode Island, New York City, and just like play as many shows as I could to like try to meet people. It was a lot. um,
Insane.
it was a lot. And I got very lucky. I like tried out for a bunch of like the TV shows and like never really made it.
Hmm.
And I got very lucky that the manager that I have now found me on Instagram doing like, you know, coffee shop covers of
Yeah.
like songs. And he flew me out on a one-way ticket. We met in the airport. I showed up with like a body bag of clothing and my guitar and slept on his couch for 6 months and basically wrote songs from like 1 p.m. to like 1 a.m. every single day.
Oh my.
Signed a publishing deal to write songs for other people. And then like a year and a half later, I signed my record deal with Visionary and Arista at Sony, and started putting out music. And that was in the span of like I was probably like 23 when I came out to LA, maybe. I don't honestly know. I'm not a math person, so you guys figured that out. Um, but it
That's
was kind of like, it was just like, it took a long time and it's a constant like battle. Like my dad always said, you gotta pick something that you love even when it's hard because it's gonna suck 95% of the time. And if you love it when it sucks, then like you'll never be like
yeah.
unhappy. And I feel like with this, it's a lot of like just keep
Yeah.
going. Like, you know, you'll eventually get there. And so when I was 19, I was like, oh, I want to play songs and I want to make music and I want to have produced stuff, but I couldn't. So then I just tried playing it myself and like figuring it out. And now I'm like a signed artist, which I think if I told like 13-year-old me that I got signed, I think she would be freaking out.
Yeah.
And I came out, which is crazy to
That's
me, which
also
I didn't think was ever going to happen, and I didn't think I would have the balls to do it.
hmm
But I did, and like no one cared, which is tight. And like that's pretty cool too. And now I'm kind of like relearning what it means to be who I am because I've lived like half a person
Yep.
for my entire existence. And now I'm learning to like be more myself and also like reach out to the community.
Mm-hmm.
I always felt like I was like not straight enough for the straights and not gay enough for the gays.
Mm.
So I kind of like excluded myself without like actually reaching out and being like, hey, like not everyone hates the bis, like let's hang out.
Yeah.
And so I would just like kind of keep myself like apart because I just like I also have severe anxiety, so I just assumed that no one would want me to like be involved.
Yeah.
And then I kind of was just like, I'm tired of isolating myself for no reason. And was like, screw this. Like, I'm just gonna put myself out there and hope for the best. And it's been really special because I'm like meeting new people like Soph and Avery and yourself. And like, it's really cool to like meet new people who have like been through their own shit. Um, and like, we're all the same at the end of the
Yeah.
day, which is pretty cool.
It's like crazy that I think that it's so interesting to think about the connection that like the entire LGBTQ plus community has with each other, even if we don't know each other. Like
Right.
even if like you've like even if we had never met, like never spoken to each other, like we would still have a connection because we both know what it's like to go through life having this thing that's a part of you that you're proud of, but not everyone likes about you and not everyone
Oh, yeah.
whatever. And it's really cool to think about. Like it's obviously it's not a good thing, but it's cool to think about
Right.
like I have a whole like we both have a whole network of people that like are just like us. And
Yeah.
if they met us, we would probably connect really fast because we kind of like are able to, you know, grow like kind of just I don't even know bond over the.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like you literally, it's like a literal instant overnight family.
mm-hmm,
Like that was the thing that I found was like so crazy is I had all these fears about like not being accepted and like not being like enough or like not fitting a certain like idea of what it means to be a part of the community and like literally like I came out and everyone was like dude like welcome like
mm-hmm,
nice to meet you I'm so and so like how are you dealing with it do you need help I had like people I had worked with like once before who were in the community who like texted me on the side and they were like congratulations like when you're ready or you need help like let me know
mm-hmm.
and I was just like where else do you get that? Like some people don't have that with their actual families. So to be able to like have a place where you can just like straight up be like, hey, like I'm gay or I'm bi or like I'm gender fluid. Like I don't have like that community at home. This is a place where like you're accepted no matter what,
Yeah, that's
which
like
is crazy.
I like when I came out, I was 19 when I came out, I think, which is insane to think about because now I just have done a full 180 and I like could never ever ever imagine myself being who I was when I said I was straight. Um,
Right.
but so I had only ever told my sister because my
Mm,
older sister is also gay,
mm,
and I like told her once when I was like 15 that I was like questioning my sexuality and I didn't really know what was going on.
yeah.
Like, all right, dude, like that's cool, like whatever. Um,
Yeah.
and then when I was like, it was the summer after my freshman year of college,
Yeah.
and I was like, I can't hold this in anymore. Like, it's just, like, no.
Yeah.
So I was like hanging out with my friends, and like all of a sudden, I just was like, everybody shut up, and everyone was like, okay, and I was like, I just want you guys to know that I'm gay, and I'm not kidding. Half the room went, yeah, and it's Tuesday. Like we knew that already.
Like we know. What else do you have to say?
Um, and then a week later was Chicago Pride Parade. So
Oh, fun.
yeah, like made an Instagram post. I was actually holding that flag behind me. Um, but I made an Instagram post and I was just like, if you didn't know, now you do.
Yeah.
Amount of people that texted me, called me, like whatever, commented on that post that day, like it was wild because I
Yeah.
was like, it was all these people being like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. Like, congratulations. I'm like, this is amazing. And I was like,
You're like, whoa,
thanks. And like
thanks.
that just like I hadn't spoken to in years, being
Yeah.
like, oh, all right, cool, thanks. And like
Yeah.
like even after that, there's still like I feel like I still had a process of I was like, okay, I came out. Now I want to start dressing the way that I want to dress. Now I want to start acting.
Right.
And it still took, I mean, I was 19 when I came out, and it took until last fall for me to really feel like, and there's still days when I'm just like, I feel like I'm not really fully being myself yet. But
Right.
um like it took until like last fall for me to actually like look in the mirror and be like, this is what I want to look like. This is what, and I was 21.
Yeah.
So uh,
I feel like that's the like thing that I'm in right now is I like came out and I was like, cool. And I think a part of me expected myself to like come out and then like immediately be whole and be like, okay, great. Now I feel
yep.
exactly who I am. But I'm like, there's like 26 years of like emotional baggage that I need to unpack. And like, it's gonna take a while for me to be like, okay, like, what do I actually like to like? How do I like to dress? How do I like to talk? What do I like in a partner? Like what, like who am I as a person? And that is like a thing that I feel like takes a really long time. And also just like learning how to have like self-confidence because I feel like that's something I struggled with up until coming out. And now I'm kind of very, very slowly like trying to learn how to be like confident
Yeah.
in like who I am instead of being like afraid of showing that,
Yeah.
which I think is like tough.
It's also hard with like expressing your sexuality because I feel like a lot of times it's just kind of assumed that we're like showing it too much or like you're being too gay. Like,
Oh yeah.
no, fuck you. Like
Yeah.
it's like it's weird because like I go the school that I go to is a very very um how do I explain this? I'm surrounded by straight white people and
Got it.
um straight white people who have only grown up with straight white people their entire lives.
Right.
So um it was really hard for me, especially at first, like when I first came out, to like actually like express the way that I wanted to express. And
Right.
eventually I think just like one day I think it was honestly partially also with TikTok because it was like I was creating all this stuff that was actually me because TikTok was like my safe space. Like no one, none of my
Right. No one knew.
I can secretly do this and no one's it's fine. And then that like I had that one video that blew up and then people that knew me started finding me and I was like all of these like however many people enjoyed this video and it made them feel good. And this is what
Right.
I enjoy doing. This is how I feel comfortable. So why am I going to let anyone like dog that? Why am I ever going to let anyone
Right.
that that's like whatever? If I want to do it, I'm going to do it. Like if you don't like it, you don't.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah. Don't watch the video.
and then I think it kind of bled into like the rest of my life where I was doing things and people would be like, "Well, you didn't used to be like that, or you didn't used to do things like that," and I'd be like, "Okay," and I was hiding
And
something.
you're like,
How I'm
right. And now I am.
yeah. Um, but I think especially like for me when I came out, I've always been a very very like I don't want to say very like I've always been a very confident person. Like I'm always like I'm very
Mm-hmm.
like I'm the kid in class that like always talks and like is maybe cracking jokes with the teacher and like whatever. Like that's me. So
Mm-hmm.
I've always been the person who was just outspoken and very outgoing and whatever. And I think it was weird for me because I was outgoing and stuff and whatever as this person that I wasn't. And then all of a sudden
Right.
I wanted to be who I wanted to be and then I became who I wanted to be. And all of a sudden I was like, am I still going to be outspoken? I don't know. And it was just
Right.
so strange to see the like transition and how like as soon as I started dressing the way that I wanted to dress, I felt as though I wasn't allowed to be as outspoken and like have
Right.
voices I normally did.
You
Um,
probably feel like you're being like judged for that version of yourself too. You're
yeah,
like, okay, I've become this person, but like, am I going to be judged? Like, can I do both of those things? Or like, is that like a no-go?
that's how I felt after I cut my hair too. Like I would walk into the women's bathroom and get like, and I'd be like, "No, I'm a girl,
So weird.
promise."
So weird.
I know it's so weird. Like, why are you looking at me? Just leave me
You're
alone.
like, I'm here to pee.
We're in the
Leave
bathroom.
me alone.
Why does it matter? Uh,
Like,
but it's just so like, it's really cool to see how like the fluctuation had worked. Like I was this really confident straight girl, and then I was like not the straight girl anymore, and then I wasn't confident, and then I became confident again, and I wasn't straight anymore. So it was like it's
right.
like see the progression of
It's like
everything.
a wave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think that it's not a linear thing. It's not like
No.
plot your confidence and it's just going to go up consistently. It gets knocked down and brought up and whatever. Um, but I'm glad to hear that you're slowly finding the confidence because
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's just like, I think I'm like learning to be gentler with myself and not really have expectations. I think I find that there's a difficult thing in like being bisexual is there's kind of like you I at least for me, I'm constantly like I've never felt like I was very feminine and I've also never felt like I was very masculine. I feel like I kind of just like if I feel like dressing like
Yeah,
more on the masculine side, then that's what I'm doing. And if I feel like wearing heels today, which I am, hello, then like I'm rocking. I'm honestly so surprised I got my leg up that high.
I was like,
Wow. I'm like, yeah, so But like that's what I do. Like it just depends on how I'm feeling. And I think for a while I was dressing straight, but trying to like low key let people know that I was like not straight.
like,
And then I came out and then I was like, yo, I cuffed my jeans. Like, what's up? Like, I really like your style. I really, thanks. Hey, you're so pretty. Thanks. Like, you're gorgeous. Thanks. Like, wow. Thanks, sister. And I'm like, oh, God,
yeah,
I'm hitting on you. What the hell? I'm like, I'm trying here. Like, and then I would go the complete opposite and try to dress very like what I assumed would be like very obvious that I would be like
mhm,
interested in a girl. And like it just didn't fully feel like me either. Because then I was like, well, now I don't, now I feel like I'm playing a part that's not fully me. And like, will like the straight people be like, what the hell? Like, I thought she
yeah,
was straight. What's going on? So now I'm trying to just like be gentle with myself and like not have expectations and like not feel like I need to like choose like a certain way of like existing. I also think it's like starting to help very slowly starting to help my anxiety because I think most of my anxiety was based off of me feeling like the need to protect like a younger version of myself who hadn't fully come out. And now that I'm kind of out, that younger version like doesn't need to be protected
mhm.
anymore. And so I don't need to feel like I can't, like, I would never, I don't have a lot of close friends at all because I just didn't let myself get close to people because I was just like, there's still this piece of me that I can't fully be and I can't tell anybody about it. And now that it's out, I'm just like, okay, well, like, why am I making things more difficult for
Yeah.
myself? Like this is who I am and I'm figuring out. If you don't like it, then we're not friends. And if you do, then tight.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's funny that you say that because I like feel a very similar way. Like when I was in high school, I have all these friends that I was friends with in high school from freshman year to senior year. Like our friend group was never broken, um, and we were the best of friends and whatnot. And then, but like I never actually felt like I fully connected with them because I
Mm-hmm.
was not me. And I think the only person that I've ever truly been like my full self with is like oddly enough my TikTok friends.
Right,
So weird to think about because now when things happen or like if like say like me and my girlfriend get in a fight or
right,
like something bad happens at school or whatever, like the first people I go to are like AG, Avery, Soph, Kenzie, like
right.
all of those people. Like it's just it's crazy to me to think that like I had all these friends for my entire year and like for my entire life and I never felt like I was really connected with them
Right,
because I wasn't fully myself. And
right,
all accepted me like afterwards and I'm still really close with them, but it's so crazy because I think that I find comfort in being around other gay people because
hmm
I feel comfortable there because I don't have to
right,
them. And it's like it's not even just like the gay thing, it's like the internet thing and
right,
you know what I mean, like I don't have to explain my lifestyle.
right.
um
Well, that's the thing is I feel like people who are in the community, like not saying that you like have to be in the community to like get it, but like I do feel like people in the community have like been through what it feels like to not be yourself. So when someone comes in and like even if you don't know who you are or you're figuring it out, like no one like they're just like, yeah, do you, like we don't care, like we're here for you, like how are you doing as a human being,
yeah,
like
exactly.
they don't really care like if you're figuring it out or you don't know what you want to dress like or you don't know who you have feelings for, like they're just kind of like cool,
Yeah,
like that's fine because
like
they're used to having that judgment like towards them that like when it comes to having someone else like they have no, like I definitely try my best to like make sure that I'm like never like judging somebody else based on like things that I don't know because everybody's going through it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I feel like that's like a big thing is like the community is just so like open and like, listen, we're not judging you. You can be whoever you want to be here.
Mhm. Even
There's
like
that.
Avery hates labeling her sexuality. Hates it.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about. We did a live together and she was just like, I don't really label my sexuality. Like I fall in love with people and that's
Yeah.
it.
And I genuinely like I think that that's how like as much as
Hmm.
I would never fall in love, I just
Right.
I just feel like we shouldn't have to explain our sexuality, like because then we all get
Like whose business is it?
exactly like you should fall in love with a person because they're a person, not because they're
Right.
a woman or non-binary or gender fluid.
Exactly. I'm like, if you treat me like shit, I have no interest. But if you're like, if you're cute and you're nice, like, cool, down.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but like I take a lot of so I have a queer studies concentration with my degree, and
Oh, sick.
thank you. And I've learned so much about just like the history of like where all these labels came from. And the only thing that learning about them has made me want is for them to just go the fuck away.
Go away.
So annoying. Why
Right.
why do I like why are you and I different? Why? Because
Right.
men and I don't like what's what
Right. What's the difference? Right.
it's so
Like it literally doesn't matter
I just wish that the
at all.
labels at all. Like what
Yeah.
and I wish that no one ever had to label their sexuality. I wish that no one ever had to label like their gender. Like it's just so dumb.
I think like humans as like a whole, not to get like super like existentialist and like
Mm-hmm.
introspective, but like humans as a whole like feel the need to like rationalize things and like make it very like easy to like process, especially for people who are not in that community. They're like, you are different. I need to find a way to rationalize it. So I need a name for that. Like I've got to have a name for that.
I,
And then they create a name for it.
I
So
wrote
it's less like for you, it's more for everyone else.
yeah for sure. It's of course it's for the straight people. Why not?
Right. Like, because,
Um,
everything else.
I wrote a paper about that last year. And just how like I forget what the title of it was, but I like basically wrote this whole paper, and the end line was just like labels are stupid. And my professor like underlined it and was like, "Yes, good." I am.
Yes, good. A plus.
But yeah, no, it's just like I hate the pressure. Like even my girlfriend went back and forth between being like in the course of like a year and a half went from like straight to bi to gay to straight to bi to back to straight to gay to like
Right.
it's just like yeah, like why did she have to do that? Like what
Right.
was
But I
like
think it's also like crazy because, like, as much as I hate the labels, I also, when I was trying to figure out like what I liked, found myself feeling the need to have one
mhm.
so that I could rationalize why I felt the way that I did, which is like a whole other like can of worms where I was just like, labels are stupid. I don't need one.
Yeah,
But then I was also like, if I don't have one, then who am I?
exactly.
So then
It's
I was like, ah, shit, I need one.
like you're not fully coming out if you don't give yourself an actual
Right,
which is strange.
right,
Like I'm the same way. I with pride will like scream from the rooftops, I'm a raging lesbian.
right.
Like it's it's because we like I don't know. It's a bit I could talk about this for
It's a
so
cycle. It's such a
but
cycle.
it's just
It's such a cycle.
drives me nuts because we're just taught to like want these labels, but then when you ask
Hmm.
about them, they don't make any sense.
Right, no.
But oh man, it gets me
You're like, ooh, that's weird. I don't like it.
um what was I gonna add? I had a question that I wanted to ask you during that conversation. Um, I completely forgot what it was.
That's
I'm
fine. My brain like never works.
just everywhere right now. Um,
You're fine.
but okay, well, there was a question that I want to ask you in general. So you just released a new album or single? No.
I what?
Are you starting a new campaign?
I am.
That's what it was. Okay, I couldn't think of the word. Okay, so tell me about it. What's going on?
I have a song coming out on Friday.
Okay.
Ironically enough, in the stream of talking about sexuality, it's called Somebody I'm Proud of. And it's very interesting because I find like all of these songs I wrote like a little while ago, and now that they're finally coming out, they have like more than one meaning than they did when I wrote them.
Hmm.
So like for me, this song was originally about looking at my younger self and being like, wow, she was so fun and happy and cool, which she wasn't, super depressed. But I was like, oh yeah, she's like so fun and happy and cool. And like the person I am now is like so like mean and negative and angry. Like she was great and I suck and like everything. I'm gonna be this way forever. And it was kind of like trying to figure out how to be like, okay, the person I was a good person, and the person I am now was a good person. And we're like, I will constantly be going like this. And like at the end of the day, I just want to be like, no pun intended, somebody I'm proud of. Like I want to be like happy with who I am as a whole, like the whole messy bits of what it is.
Yeah.
And so that's what it was really like feeling like the negativity of nostalgia instead of like happy nostalgia. And now that I listen to it, it's got so much more meaning like since coming out because I'm like trying to learn what it means to be proud of who I am like as a bisexual person. And that's been an interesting process. And I'm still learning like I came out after Pride
Hmm.
because I was just like I didn't feel like I had something to be proud of. And I also was like, I don't, if you're bisexual, does anyone care? Like it's like it was like a whole thing. And I was like, I don't want to come out. We were also going through the Black Lives Matter movement and during Pride, and I also didn't want to be like another fucking white girl coming out as bisexual. So it was like, I was like, nobody needs that right now. So I was like, I'll like take my time. I'm not that asshole. Like I'm not gonna do it like that. And so I like took my time coming out and like I finally came out, but I was just like I just didn't feel proud enough to like do it on Pride. And so now I'm like trying to understand what it means to be somebody that I'm proud of, like as a whole. So I'm really excited for this one to come out. It comes out on Friday, and I filmed the music video for it last week,
Oh,
and
wow.
that comes out on Friday as well. It was a very quick
Wow.
turnaround.
Busy.
Oh yeah, it's been a fast one. But the music video looks so like I'm so excited. It's probably my favorite one that I've done. And my mom came to the shoot, which was fun, and both of my brothers came. So it was like very special to like film a video about like missing who you were as a child and then having like the people who surrounded you when you were younger
Oh, that's so
at the shoot.
so full circle.
Oh yeah, we literally started to do the rehearsal part of like the first scene, and like I hadn't even started yet, and the music started playing, and I hear like sniffling, and we had to cut, and I like look over, and my mom's like bawling in the corner, and I'm like, "Why are you crying?" She's like, "I'm just so proud of you."
Oh, that's
I
so,
was like, "Oh, this is so wholesome."
oh, that's adorable.
It was really
How
cute.
how did you come out? Like what did you do? What happened? What did you
I feel like I read a lot of books. I'm like a huge book reader and kind of a bookworm, and so I feel like writing is kind of, I mean, I'm also a songwriter, so I feel like writing is where I feel the most comfortable. And so I was gonna originally make a video, but I just wasn't comfortable yet, like looking at myself and saying it. I still haven't made a video talking about it fully, which I'll probably do at some point because I feel a little bit more comfortable now talking about it. Now that I've like started doing it, which is fun. But I was like super fucking nervous. And so I ended up just like writing a long like Instagram post in my notes section and just like screenshotting it and having it be a swipe through
Oh.
and just being like, hey, like read this little short novel about like me not being straight.
Hey.
Hey. Uh, and it was what felt like comfortable to me and was what it was like the easiest way for me to get my feelings across without feeling like uncomfortable. Since then, I like before that, I had told my manager.
Hey, she's here.
Oh, hi, G.
Hey. Um,
I had told my manager and I had told my family, and that was it. Like my label didn't know, my like publishing company didn't know, like no one knew, my friends didn't know, like I hadn't told anybody, and I hadn't really talked about it either. Like I hadn't worked with tons of people who were like in the LGBTQ plus community, and like I even when they would talk about like their boyfriends or their girlfriends, I would like immediately have a panic attack. It wasn't
Oh,
about me, but it was about me, you know?
yeah.
And so I was like, I would be sitting there freaking out. Exactly. And so I like wouldn't say anything. So I hadn't talked about it. And then I had said, you know, the label was like, do you want to like talk with people from the community? And I was like, well, maybe if they set it up, it'll feel like work and then I won't be super nervous. And
Mm-hmm.
so I started kind of like doing Instagram lives with like people in the community. And like at first I was like terrified and like was afraid to kind of share anything. And then like over time, I feel like I've gotten more comfortable like talking about it
Yeah,
because like
I'm sure we're talking about it right now.
I'm like super cozy. And I feel like honestly, TikTok has been like a really great place. I very quickly got off of straight TikTok, which thank God. I like the first time I downloaded TikTok, I was like, I'm not using this app. Like, I refused to use this app.
Yeah.
And then, like, in the span of a week of using it, it like switched over to gay TikTok. And I was like, oh, so much better here.
But yeah,
uh,
also
and
totally.
I feel like that was like such an inspiration, though, because there were so many like young people in the gay community who were younger than me
Mm-hmm.
who were just like owning it. Like they were just like, look at me, like crushing it. Like I like love girls and I like love dudes and like here I am like thriving. And I was like, damn, like imagine you have like that much confidence in like who you are and like who you like and no one cares. And like the TikTok comments can be like really, really aggressive sometimes. And like these kids were just like, yeah, what about it?
Yeah.
Cool. Like, don't care. And I was like, I'm like 26. Like, get it together,
Yeah.
sister. What are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was just like, wait, I don't need to be like freaked out. Like, if people think that it's gross or they hate me, then like that's on them. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not interested in their opinion.
Like I
Exactly.
if
So,
I lose a follower, like, okay. You're getting
like, I don't know those people. Like, it's like a number at that point. Like, I don't, it's fine.
oh my
So I feel
girlfriend.
like I've like gotten more like comfortable with it and like I'm talking more about it, which is good. And I did the kind of writing thing. I think I'll probably make a video at some point kind of talking about it and feeling more comfortable, like not just saying that I'm like bisexual and being like, anyway,
Yeah. It's like
because I could do that, but I feel like I want to talk about it more.
yes. And like that's the weird thing about like it's like I feel like at the beginning I was so openly confident talking about it with like other gay people. And like at first
Hmm.
I was bisexual because I didn't want to come out as a lesbian. And
Oh, I know that that's like a huge thing too.
yeah, I knew that I wasn't bi. Like I knew that I didn't
Right,
like I like whatever, like I can recognize when like one of them is like attractive or whatever, but like
right,
I could I know that. But
right,
I like came out as bisexual because I just didn't want people to say anything and I wanted people
right.
to have a stigma around me, which sucks
Hmm.
for lesbians and bisexual girls because like it's like oh like people think that if you're coming out as bi it's not really valid. But then they think if you're
Right.
coming out as whoa, you did a really like big 180 there, like maybe you should take a step back.
Like
It's like
who like messed you up to like want to do
right.
that? Like, oh, you
Yeah.
just haven't found the right guy. And you're like, no, pretty sure that's not the thing.
Favorite comment
So that's the one every time. The
that
chef's kiss of comments.
going.
But that's the thing that I always find so interesting is everybody is always just like, oh, like the bisexual thing is just a phase. And I always find that so interesting because like for me, I find that like if that is a phase for you, by all means use it. Like if that's what where you feel comfortable, like you will be accepted wherever you are. Like if you decide at the end of the day that you're straight, by all means. Like, you know, I like the labels are like things that you wear. Like they're not who you are. It's just a label. So it's like if you want to be bisexual for a year and then find out that you're gay, by all means.
Yeah, do it.
And if you want to be bisexual for a year and then find out you're straight, by all means. Like, and also the idea that you have to be that one thing forever too is like crazy to me. Where people are like, if you say you're gay, you're gay, and then
Hmm.
if you change your mind, you lied the whole time.
Yeah, I have a one of
And
my
like,
friends, her boyfriend just came out as trans, so like just recently transitioned. Um,
Amazing.
Now people are being like, "Oh, so does that she's straight now?" And it's like it doesn't matter. Like they're dating. Like they're to
No,
the like
right.
it's just so frustrating because all
It's
of
like,
like
why is that any of your business? Like, is she
what
happy? Great.
is she
Is he
happy?
happy? Great.
Like what like
Cool.
hey, fine. A month ago, like that was her girlfriend. Now it is her boyfriend. It doesn't matter. Like who cares?
Right. They're like still dating. That's the special part,
Mm-hmm.
is that they still love each other no matter what.
Exactly. It's the fact that like nothing changed. Like it shouldn't change.
Right. It's like a whole, I just, the
Yeah.
straights. The straights. That's all I have to say.
um,
All I have to say.
yeah. It's like it. It's insane how we can all be part of this community, but then even within community, there's so many different issues.
Oh yeah.
And,
I mean,
ugh, like even my.
I think,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
No, no, go ahead.
I think you find like, even within the community, like as accepting as it is, obviously you find a lot of people who are like I'll see, like I follow the Gay Times and they'll post like a photo of someone who's bisexual, and like the comments will be like, like, well, if she's dating a man now or she's married to a man now, then she's straight. And like she should like save it and not like take that away from the gays, and like, vice versa. Or like your percentages, like if you're like bisexual but you're like 60% women, then like you're basically a lesbian. I was like, that's not how it works.
Not how it works.
But like, I feel like even in the community, there are still people who like need to understand, like need to really really know what's happening and like
Yeah.
how it makes sense in their head. And also a lot of very insecure people too. Like,
Mhm.
you come to the community once you realize that you're not straight and you're kind of like looking for solace, but a lot of people in this group are still like wildly insecure.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Like I think that that's one good thing about. I mean, not good thing, but one thing that comes from the fact that we've all gone through being somewhat not ashamed, but just confused and unsure of who we are. I think that that
mm,
kind of helps with, I think, every single person who openly identifies as gay or bi or whatever it is, like, and
right.
straight. I think that that person is automatically just more likely to be more accepting of you because we all know what
Hmm.
it's like to have someone be like, I don't like you because you exist. And
Oh yeah.
sad, but I think that that's like one really cool thing about like when you do come out, like there's an influx of people that are like, oh my god, hey, let's be friends. Like,
Like, oh my God, you exist.
yeah, exactly.
This is awesome.
Like even the other day, I was talking with your manager, and I think we were just like talking about how like you had just come out, and I was like, oh my god, yay! Like so proud of her.
Like, woohoo.
um,
And that's the thing that makes it so special, is like you immediately have people who are like supporting you, and that's like so cool.
yeah,
Like you don't find that anywhere else.
and the bad thing is that it comes from just a general oppression of or like the group of people
Right.
you belong to, but
Right. Yeah, that part kind of sucks.
oh yeah, it kind of sucks. But it does help us all just be a little bit closer, which is cool. I enjoy that part.
Yeah.
What
Same.
were you gonna say? Were you gonna say something?
Nothing of value.
Um, oh, I'm like, I feel like my eyes. I don't know if I've like just didn't drink enough water today or like what it is, but my eyes are, like going in and out of focus, and I'm like, ugh.
I feel that. Sometimes it's my contacts. I'm like downing my first coffee of the day, and it's 9 o'clock at night.
That's me. The other
That's how
day,
it's going for me.
I was talking to one of my friends, and it was like, I think I was, I think it was like 8:30, 9 o'clock ish, and I like put my phone down, and I was on FaceTime with her, and I like just like chugged coffee, and she was like from the cold brew bottle, like no, I didn't even
Oh
put it in
my
the glass,
God.
but from the bottle, and
Breathless.
she was what, like, why are you doing that? And I was like, I have homework, and she was like, can you do it in the morning? Like, what are you doing?
You're like, I'm concerned. Are you okay?
I asked myself that question way too many times a day.
Oh, same.
Or
Same.
like,
I'm
I
like,
got home
hey.
and I had a Bang, those energy drinks
Yeah.
in my fridge, and I just walked to the fridge. I get home from practice at like 7:30, 8 o'clock every night.
What do you play?
I play volleyball, believe it or not.
Oh, sick. My mom used to play volleyball.
Really? That's
Yeah,
cool.
she played in
Yeah,
like high school and college. She was like really into it. I'm like useless when it comes to anything that's flying towards my face, so.
sure. I
But props.
I've been playing for like 15 years, I think.
Oh wow.
That I've been playing for a very long time. So it's like kind of just like part of who I am now. Um,
Mm,
but I like it's like weird thinking about it because I have like all these different aspects of my life. I have like me at school and then like me at home and then me on TikTok and then me at practice and like being an athlete and like whatever.
right.
And I feel like they don't like overlap at all, which is really strange.
They're
Um,
like separate versions
they're
of
like
you.
separate people, not separate people,
Yeah.
but like separate parts of my life that never really seem to cross over, which is strange
Yeah.
because I just feel like
Weird.
they have to, but they don't, which is weird. But we aren't allowed to like actually play games because of COVID.
Right.
Um, so we have practice 4 times a week, and then we have lift twice a week. Um, we get Sundays off.
Sweet
Uh,
Jesus.
but so I just come home from practice. I'm exhausted. I don't have a game coming up anytime soon, and
Yeah.
I didn't even have homework. I like didn't have anything to do, and I just walked in. And I was like, oh, this sounds good, and I just like started chugging it. And it was like,
Sometimes like coffee, I always crave coffee at night and it's always a bad idea.
I need to get like decaf.
I'm like, same. But then I'm like, I always forget.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And so then I end up drinking a regular coffee.
true. Because I think if you're drinking,
It's cold brew.
you're a psychopath, aka
Right. Right. Yeah.
what crazy human being would want to do that?
Oh my God. No. I had a cold brew in LA once. I think it was like the first time I had cold brew and I made the mistake of getting a nitro cold brew.
Oh God.
And not eating anything before I got it either. Like nitro cold brews are like alcohol. Like if
Yeah.
you don't eat beforehand, like you're out.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I drank the entire thing in like the span of like, you know, 30 minutes because I was like, oh, I'm thirsty and it's cold. It's got like ice. It was a hot day. I was like on my way to a session. And like go into the session and I like write the song really fast because I'm all like juiced up. And like the person we were writing with started cutting the vocals in the booth, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, my chest is pounding. I have a massive headache. Oh my God, I'm having a full blown anxiety attack. I think I'm dying. And they had to order me an Uber to back to my apartment, and I literally had a full blown like hyperventilating anxiety attack because I was like, holy fuck, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And my manager was like, dude, you drank a fucking nitro cold brew in 30 minutes and didn't eat anything. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, yeah, that'll do it, huh?
Yeah. I my senior year of high school, I like my mom bought like the cold brew like
Mm,
the like beans or like the cold brew like whatever you want to call
yeah,
it.
concentrate, whatever.
Yeah, like the actual coffee itself and it's like the concentrate and you like soak it whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So she bought she made the concentrate.
Oh
But I
no, I already know where this is going.
Yeah, no. Didn't know that it was the concentrate and she hadn't like watered it down yet. So I poured it just thinking, oh, here we go. Mom made me coffee. And
Oh no.
I had a big fucking cup of it. Like, I'm not kidding. This bitch was like that big. Like, it was.
You're like, I'll have a nice coffee. Yes.
And I went to school with I had like this matte black Starbucks cup that I thought was so cool. I was obsessed with it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, but whatever. So I'm like going to school with this like matte black cup and I'm sipping on it. And I'm like, oh, this is strong coffee. Okay. And I get to school and like my family has a history of just like so I get hyper dehydrated because because of a lot of different things. I sweat a lot and my body processes water very fast. So like I get dehydrated super quick, so I have to drink like double the amount of water that someone normally would.
Oh well.
And I drank this cold brew. And like whenever I'm dehydrated, I get this weird light line across my eyes. And it's really weird and it like won't move and I like blurs my vision.
Weird.
I got one, and normally when that happens, it means that I'm going to get a migraine soon. I was like, okay, here we go. Like, I'll just go to the nurse or whatever.
Right.
So I go to class, and I'm sitting there, and I start to feel real weird. I was like, oh, like, okay, I don't know what's happening. And I was in my economics class, and then I went to my next class, which was like my AP Lit class. And I was sitting in the classroom, and I just started to feel like I was just like, the room was spinning. I was so out of
Oh
it.
God.
And I was like, Mr. Dittman, can I go to the bathroom? So he's like, yeah, go ahead. So I go, and I'm in the bathroom, and I like remember like standing on the sink, and I was like this, and I like looked at myself in the mirror, and then all of a sudden I was like way closer to the mirror and like fell. I like blacked out. I was like, oh my God, what the fuck is happening?
You're like, something's really not right.
So I went back into the room, and I was like, apparently I don't even remember this. Apparently I was like, Mr. Dittman, like, I think I'm gonna pass out. Or like I said something like that. And I like stumbled forward and like fell down and just like was on the ground, like I passed out for like a second.
Oh my God.
And I got up and I was like, can I go to the nurse? And he was like, go. Like, what?
Like, get out. Can you? I don't know.
Yeah, so he had someone like bring me down to the nurse. And I got in there and I was laying there and they called my mom. My mom's an x-ray technician, so she like works at a hospital. And they called her and she like answered the phone and apparently they were like, so your daughter like is like just really, we think she might be dehydrated, whatever. And she was like, oh God, okay, fine, I'll be there in a minute. Like I'll be there in a little bit. And like came and picked me up and she was like, did you drink the cold brew concentrate? And I was like, yeah, mom. And she was like, idiot.
You idiot.
Sorry.
Oh my God. That's terrifying.
Sit on my couch with like a bottle of Gatorade and a bottle of water and just like wait there until it went away.
The concentrate's no joke. I had a friend of mine who did that where she like didn't know that she was supposed to like she thought the concentrate was a cold brew
It's
and like poured a big old glass and then was like literally like in tears down for the count for like a day and a half.
it's scary.
I'm
Like
like, yikes.
you need to like make it more clear that you need to water it down first.
Oh yeah.
I,
I mean, I didn't know that you had to water it down until I watched her have that whole problem. And
yeah,
I was like, they were like, oh, she didn't water it down. I'm like, oh, so crazy. And I'm like, holy fuck, I
yeah.
didn't know you were supposed to do that.
No, it's terrible. Like oh my God, that was one of the worst days of my entire life. I
That's terrifying. I would have freaked out. And at school, like in a public place, I would have like had a full blown like anxiety attack on top of that.
I mean, luckily it was like my senior year, so I was pretty comfortable with like everyone that was around me. Um,
That's good.
and I had like a pretty close friend that was in that class with me. That she was actually the one who took me down to the nurse's office. Um, but I was just laying there, and I wanted to be worried and like concerned for my health, but I just couldn't be because I was so out of it. Like I didn't even know what was happening. I was
You're
just
just like, oh, we're on the floor. Cool, cool, cool.
yeah, like I was like, all right, I'm on the ground. It's cool down here. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
it's fine. I'll
like
just stay down here and
they
chill.
sent me to like a room, and I like walked in, and I was like, oh, there's a bed. That's cool. I just laid down, and
You're like, oh, they here. Cool.
I just felt so nauseous. Oh God, that was terrible.
Oh God, ooh, that
I,
makes me. I feel for you. That's horrible.
terrible.
I thought somebody just said they're laughing and they know they shouldn't be.
I'm dead
I'm
laughing.
dead laughing and I don't think they should.
Um, I wonder if my girlfriend was in here like 20 minutes ago, but I don't
Oh my God,
know.
cute. Hi.
I'll tell her you said hi regardless. Um,
Nice.
oh, my computer's about to die. Hold on. No. Oh, I feel so official because I have a rolly chair. I gave us a rolly chair.
Mm, that's important.
Yeah, it is. I like it because I just get to like, you know what I mean?
You spin around and you're like, let me tell you the facts.
Yeah,
Let me tell you things.
like in class and like pause my camera and just spin around in a circle because I'm
We'll
bored.
do a little spin.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, I feel better about myself. This is good.
Wait, so how does like so were you supposed to have like any shows coming up or anything like that that got screwed up because of COVID?
You know, I hadn't, the crazy thing, well, technically no,
Okay, that's
I wasn't. We had booked some for like later this year. I was supposed to kind of start like putting a bunch of music out and kind of trying to like build a fan base and like meet people and like show people music first because no one knew who I was, and they probably still don't. So I was just kind of trying to like get stuff out there, and then hopefully by the end of the year, kind of start like doing shows. Obviously, that's not happening. But that didn't really like hurt too much. I think like now I obviously can't do shows, so now I'm trying to do like Zoom ones, which is fun, but also like not the same.
Yeah.
Um, but I feel like it was like an interesting like quarantine happened right as I was getting ready to drop my first single. So my entire project has been during quarantine,
Oh, wow.
which is crazy. So like all the music videos were like done like social distant and like all of them were done like it was crazy. It was very, very weird
God.
thing. But also like I don't know it any other way, so
Yeah.
that's fine by me.
That's like what, like, oh my, I can't even imagine that. Because, like, I even think it's weird. Like, I have to go to class in the middle of a pandemic, and, like, that alone is weird to me. So I can't even imagine having to, like, film a music video in the middle of a pandemic. That sounds
It's pretty wild.
incredibly tedious, but also,
It's very interesting. I mean, I had never like filmed music videos before, so like I didn't really know what to expect.
mhm,
And I guess I won't really know until pandemic is like chilled out.
yeah.
So like it feels pretty normal, but it is like very much like walking onto a set with a bunch of people. Everyone's in masks and like hand sanitizer like all over, and like I'm the only one that's not in a mask because I'm singing.
Wow, that's,
So it's a very interesting thing where everyone looks like a doctor.
yeah, exactly. We have, so, like, we obviously have to wear masks at all times, pretty much.
Right.
I have to wear it while I play, which is so.
Yeah, that's gotta be tough.
And like while I work out, like in the middle of our lifts, like we all have to have like masks on. The only time that we're allowed to like pull them down is if we're drinking water
Right.
or like.
It's gotta be hard to breathe.
That's another time. Like we can like pull it down if we like really can't breathe, and then we can.
Really can't breathe.
But
Yeah, that's I've seen like a lot of people in LA will they'll be like running on the street and then they'll like have the mask down because they're like dying. And I'm
yeah,
like, it's okay.
yeah,
It's okay. You're working hard.
yeah. You're doing a good job. Keep it up.
You're doing great, buddy.
But yeah, no, it's like it's strange. Even today, like I was um I was out like getting groceries. And on campus, you like aren't allowed to have you have to have your mask on at all times unless you're in your room. Like you
Right.
have to have it on at all
Like
times.
everywhere you go.
You can take it off if you're like outside and like 6 feet apart from every other person. Um,
Right.
so today I was like walking outside and like off campus, that's just simply not the rules in like the world. Like you can basically just not
Right.
you're like in a big group of people or going into a store. Or
Right.
whatever it may be. And I got out of my car and I like immediately put my mask on. There was absolutely no one around me. And I was like looking
Right.
around. Why is this so normal to me now? Like I don't want it to be.
You're just like, oh yeah, just another day.
Yeah, it's just
Throw
like
this bad boy on.
it's such a
Oh my
weird.
God, I have to wear a mask during cheerleading while we're holding up 80 to 90 pound girls. No, thank you.
Oh, I
No.
would. I mean, maybe I don't know. In Victoria, Australia, we're still in quarantine. We have 7 months straight. S2. Not great.
Yikes.
And
Same.
not.
Yeah, you can't go in LA. You can't go into you can't go into a coffee shop to get your coffee. You still have to order it online. Pick it up outside.
We can like. You ever been to Phil's?
No, but I heard it's like I mean I watch a lot of Ember Chamberlain videos and she like dies over that
You
coffee and I
have
still
to.
haven't had it yet.
It's so good. You
That's like the one.
ordered the mint mojito. Oh my god. Mint
I heard that one is like
mint mojito, house sweetener, um, oat milk.
oh
Gas. Absolute gas. Just fire.
I
Straight fire.
love oat milk. That's like
Need
my fave. Yes, baby. Oh,
pull it out and like drink it. Like I,
I love oat milk. It's absolutely incredible.
oh,
I can't drink regular milk. It like ruins my insides.
I love regular milk. Like I used to drink it at least twice a day growing up. And I've never broken a bone, so I feel like I can't really dog my parents for having me drink milk all the time.
Right.
But ever since I found oat milk, I'm like, how did I ever drink regular milk? How?
It's so good.
So good.
It's so bomb.
It's so good. I would
I'm
die for
obsessed. Oh, same.
if oat milk was if someone was doing
Oh,
oat milk like who to kill, I would be like, just do it. But
just like do it. Knock me out.
um sure.
Well, this has been super fucking fun.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad we got to like actually hang out. This was fun. Like I think
This was fun.
because I've never done this before, like with um like someone I've never met. So
Oh yeah, this is new for me too, by all means.
yeah,
I don't even do this with people that I know, so.
yeah. I what to expect, but this actually was I hope we can actually meet in person because I feel like we would be really good
Yeah,
friends. Okay,
I
good.
would love that. Let's hang out. I'll like DM you my number and we'll just like text and hang out.
Okay, cool. Good. Sounds
And we'll
good.
do this again because this was really fun.
Yeah, this was really fun. Um, okay, well, it was great to meet you. Everybody
It was nice.
this live right now. Go follow Sarah if you don't already.
Oh, thanks.
Wait for Friday because the new song and music video are being released. So please go check it out because I will be there,
Thank you.
waiting there for it to pop up
Woohoo!
over and over and over. All
Thanks.
right, I will talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Thanks for hanging.
Of course, it was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Bye.